1. What's good, Council of Comics? We're talking Andor, episode number 8. Let's go.
Alright, I'll stop by tomorrow.
Bro.
I wish I had more time.
So, excellent is what I say. This is one of the best Star Wars series you will ever see. You will ever see.
For a lot of conversation.
Yes, but visually very stunning.
It is visually stunning. There's not many people who love it as much as we do.
Yes.
I do love it, but there's not a lot of people who love it as much as we do.
I love it. So, we see in the beginning of this, Andor has been arrested. He's been sent to 6 years.
For the crimes he ironically didn't commit.
Yeah. So you see the whole journey of him going to the Intergalactic prison planet. I think it's Narcon 5 or something like that. So they get to the place. It's very unique. They don't have any shoes. So when they're walking on the metal, he says, you know, you're probably wondering why you don't have any shoes and why we don't have any guns. Well, this is why. It presses the button
and gets zapped.
Neutralizes them like super fast. So Andor's just watching everything. You notice that?
Yes, he's observing.
He's observing everything that's going on. They bring him down to the prison planet, and they bring him into this section where now he meets Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Andy Serkis is
in charge of their unit.
In charge of their unit of prisoners. And he's basically saying it's a competition amongst other units, and inside this room, it's a competition amongst your tables. And I'm competing with the other ones, so you better do good, blah, blah, blah. And then you just see everything about their intake, how they come in. You get to meet some of the people that are in the prison with him. And just Andor is just watching everything.
I love you all.
It switches over.
See you guys later.
Peace, Joey.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Peace.
You're welcome.
It switches also over back to Bix and where Andor is from with the mom.
Yes.
Because they find the white coats, is how we call them. They have another meeting, and now the person that's been in charge is now down there, and they're looking for stuff.
I'm so mad that I'm rooting for her. I hate rooting for a villain.
Yeah.
But she's such a great villain.
Yeah. So we find out that Yularen is over that other guy, because he's not really interested in what's going on. But he's like, I'm listening. But the main guy from before, he's to the right, and he looks like an underling now, which is I thought that was very, like, surprising. You know what I mean? So she's doing everything that she can, and they're finding out every little tidbit. She's authorizing to find out where all the sales are. I need all this information, blah, blah, blah. So Bix tries to send another signal to Luthen.
By the way, this is a great reminder. If you need to remember what a toxic work environment looks like, this episode.
She sends out the message to Lucan because they're looking for Cassian. And she needs to find him because Mom sick?
Yeah, she is sick.
Mom is sick, and they're trying to find him. But they send out the message to Luthen, and Luthen's assistant is like, she's gangster.
Yes.
She's like, no, we cannot answer this. This is going to ruin everything. He's kind of like having a little pity. Then he kind of gets
self-pity, yeah.
He's
like, oh, am I too old for this? And she's like, no, but you need to wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. And I'm like, oh my God, girl.
Yeah, and so they cut. He's like, fine, cut the line. They don't even answer them. Boom. Andor's still in the prison. He's seeing everything. He's heard stories about people committing suicide because they go into their little cells and they have their day numbers on the cells, and they're all wondering why their time got doubled.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like,
and you're like, didn't you hear about this? You know, like, and then he's like, I didn't hear about it. And it's like, well, where the hell were you?
Yeah. He doesn't want to let them know that he's the one pretty much responsible for them getting their time doubled. And so Andy Serkis is talking to him. He's like, this is how it goes in here, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you don't stay on the hot floor, which means it's red light, and you're going to fry. It has to be clear. He's like, all right. And then one of the prisoners shows that he just can't take it anymore, and he goes in the hotline, and he kills himself.
Yes. And I mean, he just stays there, because you could get zapped and live, and he's just like, nope, just finish me.
Yeah. So they're in the room, and there's a competition amongst it. They're building these pieces. I'm feeling we're going to find out what these pieces are. They're going to be part of something big. But they're building these little pieces. Andor's cool with them. They're getting it going. They're becoming like one of the top teams and stuff like that.
Imagine they're building the Star Destroyers and they don't know it.
Right.
Right, because the Star Destroyers is the first scary thing that the Empire makes.
Yeah.
And then the Death Star is the
But they've had
scariest
Star
thing.
Destroyers already, though.
We haven't seen one
This
yet.
is 5 years before.
Have we seen a Star Destroyer
Mhm.
here? All right, then I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. We've had Star Destroyers before. Because Obi-Wan takes place before this.
Okay.
Obi-Wan's 10 years before A New Hope. Andor's 5 years before A New Hope.
Oh my God.
Andor,
The timeline is exhausting.
like right now in Andor, we're in the first year of Rebels as well. It's that same timeline right
well,
there.
there's a great way to build the rebellion.
Yeah. They find out who Bix is. She tries to escape, but they catch her. And now they're torturing people because they're trying to get this information. Because if you remember that guy from the beginning? The guy that was a little wonky, but he wanted to get Andor because he's like, he murdered 2 people and he's stuck in this dead-end job now and stuff like that. Don't worry, kid. That just shows they love him. And he's telling everybody, and they come to him. They're like, "Well, what do you know about this?" He's like, "I'm trying to tell you that this guy's important. We need to find him."
And he
blah,
never
blah.
read the report that he allegedly signed.
She lets him read the report, which is a little funny because then she wants nothing to do with him later.
Yeah, she's like, forget it.
I don't know if she's playing him to push further, because she's kind of like, all right, I want you to forget about everything. But it's like, why would you want him to forget? He's the first dude that's actually been smart about this and looking for that guy.
Right, because she's just like, well, no, because she's like, you're not as smart as you think, and you don't need to go any further.
Yeah. And you already got that look in his eye.
Like, I'm never going to give up.
He's going to push further. And he's pushing it, but the final thing she says is like, forget about it. This doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. They find Bix. They're about to torture Bix.
And they just finished torturing somebody else. Because they removed the guy from the chair when Bix arrives.
Yeah. And then we switch over to Luthen, and he's going to meet my main man, Saw Gerrera. And he looks like a younger Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, cleaner
without
face.
all the parts,
Yeah.
the heavy breathing. Like, this is the beginning of the rebellion. And they go to each other, and they're like,
did you do it?
Did you do it? He's like, I didn't do it. Did you do it?
That's what I would have said if I were you and I did it. Well, that's how I would have answered if I were you and you did it.
And he's like, it was brilliant regardless.
Oh, no, I love how he said we could agree it was brilliant.
Yeah. And what Luthen's trying to do is get Saw to team up with everybody else because they rebelled with this other guy who is a separatist. And Saw does not want to team up with him. He'd rather stay on his own, do his little section fighting, blah, 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 blah. And then, I don't know if I don't remember if he convinces him.
He doesn't.
He doesn't convince him.
He just says, Saw Gerrera's like, I don't care. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with what you're doing. But we all know what happened.
Well, Saw Gerrera shows up in
Rogue One.
No. I mean animated-wise.
He shows up in Rebels.
That's right.
Yeah. And Bad Batch.
Well, in Bad Batch, he's already like full-on crazy at that point.
But Bad Batch is before this. Bad Batch is literally right after Revenge of the Sith.
All right, so he's about as crazy as he is.
Yeah, but he's really fully. He's got everything. Now, you see he's a little bit older now and stuff. Yeah. But Forrest Whitaker, classic.
Yeah.
We need more of him as Saw Gerrera.
I don't know how thin they could spread the timeline.
Yeah. But
God, Lord.
They're doing it wonderful, so we're gonna rock with that.
I do not think they're handling the timeline wonderful, personally.
One last thing, Mon Mothma and the guy that she got funding.
Yo, she's my favorite character in the whole series.
Yeah, the daughter's thinking that she's cheating because she's always meeting up with this guy. She's got a little thing in her head, and they're finding out that it's hard to move this money because the Empire is locking down, and she's getting a little worried. And that's kind of where they leave that. They don't really go into further. The movie, how does it end? The episode. Back in the place where Andor is with the people, and
he's gotten comfortable. He's been there a really long time. Yeah, because now he's got like a plate of food. You earn plates of food. There is like a protein splash pump. Yeah, right, that you can use whenever you want.
Yeah, and Circus reminds him. Yes, you're getting a little lax. Right. You know what I mean? Stop getting lax.
Yeah, like he took a breather, and he's like, "What is this? You're taking a breather?" And I was like, "What do you expect him to do?"
Yeah. And Andor kind of is like, okay, and then they start fixing. And that's pretty much the episode. Yep. But it's all the interactions in the episode that were great. And so we've got 4 more episodes. We got 9, 10, 11, and 12 to go. So we're going to see. They're going to break them out.
I just love how no one's sure what they want to do with him. Do we want to find him? Do we want to break him out? Are we going to have to kill him right away? I love how it's like all these questions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hasn't the poor guy been enough? He's just a tourist.
He didn't do anything. I'm just a tourist. But that's Andor, episode 8. We'll be back next week for episode 9. Remember to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below. Let us know what you think. Are you watching Andor? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think? So for Cliff, myself, and the rest, and Steve behind the camera,
who doesn't watch any of these shows,
and the rest of the Council of Comics, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845. Bro.